Hi guys! Today I'm going to be sharing with you how I created these up-inspired nails. I wore this manicure when I went to Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party as Ellie. So if you'd like to see how I brought this manicure to life, then just keep watching. So before we begin, there are a few things that you're going to need to create this manicure, and the first two things you need are the base and top coats. While you don't have to have these exact two brands that I have, these are the two that I use and that I recommend. Next, you're going to need a variety of colors to create this manicure. Of course, the blue and white to create the sky and the clouds, but then you also need a variety of colors to create the balloons. You don't have to have this exact variety of colors. You can choose whatever colors you like, but these are the colors that I used. Next, you need to have dotting tools, and I will link down below in the description box where I found these dotting tools. I believe it was Amazon, so you don't have to have these exact ones, but some form of dotting tool I feel helps for creating the clouds and the balloons. And I have an up-close picture of the two that I used. The two biggest dotting tools from the set are the ones I used. The bigger one for the clouds, and then the smaller one for all of the balloons. So before you begin painting your nails, you should of course clip and file your nails to your own liking, and then you start with your base coat, which I forgot to film, but you should always have a base coat on your nails before you put any color on. So here you can see that I'm starting with my very first color, which is Essie's Borrowed and Blue. It is a very pretty light blue that I think is the perfect light blue to be the sky for these nails. So I'm just going in with my first coat, and I will do two coats to make sure that the blue is nice and opaque for a solid blue sky. And now that I'm done painting the first coat, I just go back in and dab a couple of the spots that are a little like streaky, just to give my nails a little bit better of a base before I go in with this second coat. And then as you can see, I'm going in with my second coat. I definitely recommend doing two coats with almost every nail polish you're going to use, but especially for this one because it's a very light color and we do want a nice solid blue sky. Just something else to note is a technique that I use is to leave my thumbs for the very end. So I paint all 8 of my fingers first, and I leave my thumbs for the very end so that if I mess up around the nails, I can still use that thumb to clean up around the nails if I do mess up. And that way, since I haven't painted my thumbs yet, they won't get messed up when I clean up around the other nails. And there you have the final product with the two coats. So here is an up-close view of the dotting tool I used, and then you're going to see my very amateur way of getting the polish onto the dotting tool. That's just the way I do it. I'm sure there are better ways, but that's how I do it. And then you can see how I dot the paint onto the nail to make the clouds. And finally, remember to skip over your ring fingernail because that's where we're going to do the balloon design is on your 4th finger. So when you're doing the clouds, go ahead and skip from your middle finger to your pinky. And there you can see the final product with the clouds on the nails. And next we're going to do the balloons. So before dotting on the balloons, we have to create the strings that the balloons are going to be on, and I like to create the strings just with one of my smaller dotting tools. Again, there are probably better or easier ways to do this, especially because you can see I kind of messed up with these strings. There are other tools that you can create more clean lines, but I just had my dotting tools already available, so that's what I wanted to use. Again, I feel like I messed up on the strings because I tried to fit 5 strings on one nail, whereas I think on the other hand it came out better because I did only 3 strings. And here I'm going in with my Ulta nail polish, the yellow color. It's called Sensational, and then I go in with my green, which is an Essie polish called Mojito Madness. The next color that I'm going to be using for the balloons is by Essie, and it is called Bikini So Teeny. And the next balloon color is also by Essie. It is called Playdate, and it is one of my very favorite purple colors. And last but not least, I am going to be using a L'Oreal nail color for the final balloon color, and it is called Crazy for Chic. So you're probably getting tired of me saying this by now, but I always paint my thumbs last. I just feel like it's the best way, for me at least. I leave my thumbs for last so that I don't mess them up if I have to do any cleaning around the other nails. So here you just see me painting my thumb. I did 2 coats, so that's what I was doing here. And then you can go in with the clouds on the thumb. Of course, the clouds go on 4 of your fingers, and you leave the ring finger free of clouds for the balloons. And finally, we have reached probably my favorite part of the entire manicure, which is doing the top coat. I can't stress enough how important a top coat is for this manicure in particular, because you have so many little dots of polish that you have put on between the clouds and the balloons that putting on a top coat really just pulls the entire manicure together. It really does wonders, because you may have noticed as I was painting on the balloons, they just look bumpy, they look sloppy, but as soon as you put a top coat on, it just glosses them over and makes them look so much better. So this top coat in particular, I already mentioned it, it's called Sech Beat, and I buy mine at Walmart, but I don't know if it's available at every Walmart, so I'll try to include a link in the description bar to maybe somewhere online where you can buy it. Also, something else that I did mention before was that on my right hand, which is showing now, I did end up only painting 3 strings for the balloons, and I thought it looked so much better. Whereas on my left hand, I tried to squeeze in the 5 strings, and it was just too squished and it was a little bit too busy. So I definitely preferred just the 3 strings, but maybe you can try it both ways and see which way you prefer. And here is an up-close look at all the nails. I really love doing this manicure, especially when I'm going to the Halloween party as Ellie. I think it's just such a cute touch. and I hope you guys try it out, and I hope you like it too. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.